Action.
Social Security on track for huge cost of living increase. Kerry Hannon, senior columnist. Re- Retirees could see a double-digit percentage increase in their social security benefits next year as inflation continues to run hot according to several new estimates. Based on inflation data through June, the cost of living adjustment for Social Security benefits or COLA could be an increase of 10.5% next year, according to estimates from the Senior Citizens League, boosting the average retire benefits by $175.10 every month. The non-profit committee for a reasonable The Non-Profit Committee for a Reasonable Federal Budget CRFB puts that increase at 11.4% of inflation, keep tracking also along as it currently is, and even if inflation cools. The CRFB estimates a 9% COLA, while the Senior Citizens League forecasts 9.8%. Holly Mark Goldwyn, CRFP's Senior Vice President and Senior Policy Director, told Yahoo Money that would be the highest COLA bump in 4 decades. This is very rare. But it's not all roses. The hike doesn't kick in until next year, even as prices rise now. The higher benefit could also increase the tax burden and reduce government benefits for lower income retirees, and it complicates the outlook for social security for everyone else. In June, the annual report released from the trustees of the Social Security and Medicare programs projected a 3.8% COLA increase for next year. They they then bumped that up in a briefing hosted by the Bipartisan Policy Center, saying it could be closer to 8% than the KIM Consumer Price Index for a World Urban Consumer CPIU. The US Bureau of Labor Statistics reported this week, showing that prices increased 9.1% over the last 12 months. What more is that the consumer price index for urban earners and clerical workers, CPIW, who is the Social Security Administration SSA uses to calculate COLA, run even hotter and increased 9.8% over the last 12 months. The SSA uses the average CPIW consumer price index for July, August, and September of 2022 over the previous year's third quarter. We don't have inflation for those months yet, but if inflation accelerates, more likely than not, we are talking about a double digit COLA or very close to a double digit COLA. Gold Wing said it crazy. For the roughly 70 million retired senior citizens and disabled workers who are seeing the rising prices eroding the buying power of their social security benefits, a fatter check is promising. However, the final COLA won't be announced until October and would not kick in until check arrive in January. That's long time to wait for an increase to cover rising prices now. Already social security beneficiaries got a 5.9% monthly rise for this year's COLA increase, which bumped the average monthly retirement benefit of $1,565 in 2021 to roughly $1,657 or about $92 extra a month, but that's been eaten up. In June, chicken increased 20.4% up more than ground beef up 9.70% or bacon up 10.80%. Mary Johnson, a social security policy analyst for the Senior Citizens League, told Yahoo Money eggs were up 3%. Even dried beans are up 9.9% until food prices start coming down. The lower and moderate income consumers will be treated with ongoing financial insecurity. Meantime, the COLA doesn't take into account increase in the Medicare Part B premium in 2021 Part B increased over 14.5% on the highest jumps in the program's history. The Part B premium is automatically deducted from Social Security checks. For many retired, Social Security is a major part of their income. Nearly 9 out of 10 people aged 65 and older receive a Social Security benefit according to the SSA. Moreover, Social Security benefits represent about 30% of the income of the elderly. Among elderly Social Security beneficiaries, 12% of men and 15% of women rely on Social Security for 90% or more of their income. We can all agree that we were in for a rocky ride for the coming month, Johnson said. A bigger Social Security benefit translates to higher income, which can mean higher taxes for those with incomes above $25,000 for individuals and $32,000 for married couples. According to Johnson, tens of thousands of retired who have to pay taxes on their benefits in their past may discover they must start doing so in 2023 because the income their souls are not adjusted like ordinary tax brackets. These once in a lifetime COLA increase could lead to permanently higher taxes for many retirees, Johnson said. Higher income can also result in cuts in income-related benefits for low-income seniors, Johnson said. A May-June survey from the Senior Citizens League found that 39% participants who received low-income benefits reported their low-income assistance was reduced due to this year's 5.9% COLA, while 15% reported they lost access to at least one assistance program. The most cruel irony is that high COLA can lead to trims in income-related benefits such as SNAP and rental assistance for low-income beneficiaries, Johnson said. Finally, another troubling question is how the ballooning benefits check could impact the main Social Security Trust Fund. It's forecast to continue paying out full benefits through 2034, at which point it can only pay out 77% of scheduled benefits according to the annual report from the trustees of the programs. The concern is that bigger Social Security benefit check now speed up time frame for the dissipation of the trust funds reserves. A theory floated by economists is that with higher inflation comes higher wages, which means workers currently paying into a program will ramp up Social Security contributions to balance it out. However, that's not a slam dunk solution. A new survey of 1,150 HR professionals from May 10 to May 2022 from the Society for Human Resource Management SHRM Research Institute found that more than half of the participants surveyed are either